The coronavirus outbreak has dealt a severe blow to global tourism industry, but some industries have boomed. E-commerce, for example. E-commerce live streaming rises as a new trend to drive new sales and has created plenty of buzz in China. James Liang Jianzhang, co-founder and executive chairman of Trip.com, China's leading online travel services provider, has changed his business attire and dons a traditional Chinese Hanfu to host the live broadcasts, sell travel packages, and hotel room reservations. He successfully generated millions of dollars with his new hobby. In my conversation with him, Liang discussed the difficulties in the current tourism industry and his stories of reviving his business through live streaming campaigns. Liang is also a well-known Chinese economist studying on the issue of China's aging population. Let's hear also his analysis about that. You are heading one of the world's most important online booking company. Tell me more about how you survived for the year 2020. I saw your latest number. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it is a very difficult year for us. And still, the whole global travel industry is still depressed. But we are hopeful that the COVID pandemic will go away in a year or two. Domestic travel already started to recover. We didn't like other travel companies. So we had a cost reduction measure, but we didn't do any large-scale layoff. So we still maintain a strong focus and a very good size the team, not just in China team, but also a global team, to be prepared for the upcoming recovery of the pandemic.
James, tell me, where are some of the areas you're looking at, for continue to be a difficult year, 2021?
The China domestic travel and also, Japan and Korea, domestic travel in all the countries. I think they will have, all the countries will have a strong recovery for their domestic travel.
Everybody is so familiar with your live streaming promotion every week. We saw you been devoting so much effort into it in different kind of costumes, as different ethnic groups. Even you were even trying to shave off your hair, in order to be one of those most standing out salesmen of your Trip.com. How did you come up with the idea, and why did you still stick to it? I mean, to many business people, this is unimaginable.
Oh yeah, I travel so many different top costumes, and I try to be most efficient in explaining, why people should go to this particular hotel, particular destination. And for certain destinations, dressing up in the local culture is actually certainly very helpful, and also generate a lot of new eyeballs. And I think the timing is exactly right for this kind of live show, because people are looking for deals and also looking for inspirations, because they're running out of. Usually they go to world famous places, but they cannot go outside of China. And maybe they can only go 300 kilometers away, but within that 300 kilometers, they are looking for inspirations. And live show is just the kind of things they're looking for for deals and for fun too. Looking at why this crazy boss is dressing up and acting crazily.
Wow.
Yeah, but I guess you nailed down the nature of this online live streaming economy in a way at a very early stage, it seems, compared to the others of your peers.
Yeah, we are the first, and we'll certainly invest heavily. And also, I'm the only boss.
You are the first, not just we are the first. You are the first.
Well, initially, I was kind of unaware how this big thing will evolve, and I thought it was just an interview. But as time goes on, I kind of like it. I think there's so much interesting content or interesting stories can be told for those destinations, and very good, unique hotels. So it's really a good way of, I think, the very creative way of explaining travel products. And travel is a complex product, and you need to create, you need to tell a good story, and very efficiently too, because people's time is very precious. So you need to, within an hour, you want to have the most efficient way of explaining many products. So best way is actually have very high quality video and high quality stories. And we invest heavily in, making this live show as high quality as possible. And also our suppliers are very eager to participate and willing to give us very good discount. And that, especially during this still a very depressing and especially during the upcoming recovery stage. So the timing is very good. So I think I'm very glad that I can be part of this. And this is one of the key innovations in the global travel industry. I think probably other companies, especially travel companies, will probably follow.
This is going to be a challenging year for everyone. We know that, for businesses particularly. Now, what do you think will be some of the most important and principal directions you are going to work on to make sure the business survive and even thrive under these very different circumstances?
Be still very difficult. So domestic travel is actually our focus. I think should be the focus of all the travel companies in the world. And there's a lot to do to even to deep dive on the domestic travel. In the long run, I think travel industries will fully recover, including the international travel. So instead of laying off people, try to reduce cost as much as possible, we keep our international team mostly intact, and we continue to invest in our product and technology and content globally. So I think I was telling people that you need to survive, but also you need to be prepared to take advantage of the recovery, the domestic travel in the very near future, and in the long run, I think the international travel will also fully recover.
You've been doing research about China's population, especially the issue about ever slower growth rate of the newborn babies. Tell me, what big a challenge is it for China?
Well, it's not slow growth. It's actually fast declining new births every year. The official figure for the whole year is not announced, but by our best estimates, it's another 15% down from last year, the number of new births. So I think it's a little over 10 million new births this year. According to my research, China is going to have the lowest fertility rate in the world.
Are we going to see a whole generation of slow growth in terms of birth rate in China? What would that mean for the economy? Is China preparing for that possibility right now?
You're talking about shrinking the population by half for each generation. So that's a very steep decline. And the overall population will start to decline in the next few years much faster than most experts predict. The age structure of the entire population is getting to be aging very rapidly. That creates a lot of economic problems. First is, of course, it creates a heavy burden on the society for caring the old. Either you have to raise the tax significantly or have to raise the retirement age correctly, which is a hot topic today. Both are very burdensome for the economy.
This is not just a money issue, really. It is a social issue because you think about the women in China, particularly those of the younger generation. There is a huge demand among them about having a successful career, having a balanced life between work and life. So it is much more than just an economic issue. How to make things happen in that way?
Yeah, these are factors are behind the global reduction of fertility rate. So that's the reason that all the developed countries or the industrialized countries are having a rapid declining birth rate. You cannot do much about people's lifestyle choices or women's career choices. The only thing you can do, just like many other countries, to bribe the woman or give heavy financial subsidy to women or families to compensate for their reduced or changing, persuade them to change the lifestyle. There's no easy way out.
We see the birth rate in China, Japan, and now South Korea have all been on a trend of decreasing. So what does that mean for this part of the world, Northeast Asia, which has been regarded as one of the most dynamic economies in the world?
Well, they are all having the lowest fertility in the world, and they need to solve that. And the lesson to be learned is from the North Scandinavian country. They have a very strong policy intervention to help the family, so that their financial transfer to families that have more than one baby is actually much larger than countries in North Asia like Japan and Korea. So something to be learned from. Of course, there are a different trajectory or different stage of declining fertility rate. Japan has the highest fertility rate among all the Northeast Asia countries, but it is the earliest country or economy to experience this problem. Korea will experience this problem fully in the next 10 years, and China will experience this problem a generation from now.
I see. Another thing is that during the pandemic, it is very clear the fertility rate is going to go down. The number already shown, for example, for the year 2020. So, James, what would that mean for really a generation in the world, almost as we speak?
Yeah, there's a lot of experts have different theories about how pandemic will affect the families having babies. I think it will have a slightly depressing effect, but I think it's short term. In the long run, that's still going to be, especially in North Asia, will have a declining trend. And the people are forming a smaller families. So that's something post-pandemic is still going to be the driving phenomenon for the global demographics.